Welcome to everymythtv, where we explore the myths, mysteries, and ancient tales that shaped our world. Today, we journey into the early mists of Northern Europe, into a story whispered by the changing winds of spring. This is the tale of Eostre, or Ostara, the elusive goddess of dawn, renewal, and rebirth. Her story may be shrouded in mystery, but her influence lives on every year in a celebration known across the world, Easter. But before there were bunnies, baskets, and chocolate eggs, there was the ancient rhythm of nature, and a goddess who rose with the sun. This is the story of Eostre, and it begins at the edge of winter. Long before Christianity swept across Europe, the Germanic tribes of the north held sacred the turn of the seasons. They watched the stars, followed the moon, and honored nature's cycle of death and rebirth. And as the dark grip of winter loosened its hold, they celebrated the arrival of spring with songs, fires, and rites of fertility. At the center of this awakening stood a goddess known as Eostre, or Ostara. Our earliest known reference to her comes from the Venerable Bede, an English monk who wrote in the 8th century. In his work, De Temporum Ration, The Reckoning of Time, he described a month called Ēostre, what we now know as April, named after the goddess Eostre. According to Bede, pagan Anglo-Saxons once celebrated a spring festival in her honor, though by this time her worship had faded, replaced by Christian observances. Yet even with this single source, Eostre left an indelible mark. Her name lives on in the word Easter, used in English and German, Ostern. But who was she truly? Modern scholars believe she was a goddess of dawn and fertility, similar to the Indo-European goddess Hausos, who appears in cultures across the ancient world. She was likely associated with the rising sun, the morning light that chases away the cold shadows of winter. The dawn isn't just a time of day, it's a symbol of beginnings, of hope. And for the ancients, it was a sign that life was returning to the land. Which brings us to the most famous tale linked to Eostre, the legend of the hare and the egg. Ostara, the hare, and the egg, symbols of spring. Though not recorded in ancient texts, folk traditions tell us that Eostre once found a wounded bird struggling in the snow. Moved by compassion, she transformed it into a hare so it could survive the harsh winter. But the transformation was incomplete. The hare retained the ability to lay eggs, a trace of its former life. Grateful, the magical hare would decorate and deliver these eggs as gifts to Eostre during the spring festival. Sound familiar? This, many believe, is the origin of the Easter bunny and the Easter egg. But these weren't just cute symbols. The egg was an ancient icon of life and fertility. It represented the earth, the womb, the potential of all creation. Hares, too, were long associated with fertility because of their rapid reproduction and lunar symbolism. In fact, in many mythologies, the hare is a moon animal, a companion of goddesses watching the world from the night sky. In this way, the egg and the hare weren't just part of a children's tale. They were sacred emblems of rebirth, used in spring rites that predated Christianity by centuries. And it was through the story of Eostre that they survived. Christianity and the transformation of tradition. As the Christian church spread through Europe, it encountered countless seasonal festivals and nature rites. Rather than attempt to destroy these deeply rooted traditions, the church often chose to adopt and reinterpret them. Thus, the spring festival of Eostre became Easter, a time to celebrate resurrection, light, and divine renewal. But look closely at the timing. Easter is set by the first Sunday after the first full moon following the spring equinox. This dating is deeply lunar, deeply seasonal, echoing the very rhythms the ancients followed. The fusion is undeniable. The holy day of Christ's resurrection became later to top the ancient celebration of spring. And while the Christian message took center stage, the echoes of Eostre remained, hidden in the eggs, the rabbits, and even the name itself. Today, many neo-pagan and Wiccan traditions honor Ostara as part of their wheel of the year. She is the goddess of the spring equinox, celebrated as a time of balance, where day and night are equal. Rituals include planting seeds, lighting candles, and honoring fertility and new beginnings. Though the historical record on Eostre is sparse, her story continues to grow. She has become a symbol of what was lost, and what can be remembered. A figure born in myth, resurrected by folklore, and celebrated in both ancient rites and modern traditions. Because deep down we all feel it, that stirring in the earth, the return of life. The golden light that breaks the chill of night. That is Eostre. That is spring. And that is the true soul of Easter. Thank you for joining us on this mythic journey. If you enjoyed uncovering the tale of Eostre, there are many more ancient truths waiting just beneath the surface. Don't forget to like the video, leave a comment below, and hit that subscribe button. There are so many ancient truths waiting to be uncovered, and we're just getting started. Until next time.